Welcome back to History in Motion, proudly brought to you by Midas. A sunny winter morning on the Highveld greeted the competitors of the Marlboro Crane Hire Historic Saloons, classes A to E, as they prepared to do battle on the track.
I've been racing for the last couple of years with Dion. Always good competition, either Dion or me. But Dion's put a big motor in here. I can't keep up with him now, so I'm behind him. I just want to say, Dion, I'm behind you. So you're watching your rear view mirror.
I don't have a problem with that. As long as you flash your lights coming through, I don't have a problem. We're also still developing, Gert. I don't know. It's, from what I hear, you have more horsepower than we have at the moment, but I think the torque helps a little. But I think we'll have a good dice, as usual.
Yes, as usual. And afterwards we shake hands and we enjoy it. But please, Dion, just put that other motor back again so we can have a good race. More fun, okay. Please.
Absolutely.
Jokes aside, it's now down to the serious business of racing. Leading the field off the start line will be Philip Pantazis in his Datsun. Alongside him is Andre Diedrichs in his Chef Camaro. Pierre de Waal in third is the first of the Class D cars, with Dion van Vuuren the first of the Class E lining up in fifth position on the grid. The lights are out and the on-track battle commences. Side by side, the Datsun and the Camaro head into turn one. The Camaro edges ahead and takes the lead from Pantazis. Jannie van Rooyen has his mirrors full of Pierre de Waal. Louis Klutter has a hard-chasing pack behind him as well, and alongside him is Gert Boerters. Action all around. Meredith Willis looking for a way through the middle. They touch, and Klutter goes round. As do Pantazis, Poulter, and half the field. A close call from Steve Tritter, narrowly missing contact with Klutter. Klutter manages to get his Beetle going again and rejoins the track. Looking at the replay, you can see the contact, and that sends the Beetle spinning off the track. Pantazis is also sent spinning. Poulter takes evasive action, as do a few others. At the front of the field, it's the orange and black Camaro of Diedrichs, who's still ahead of the white, red and blue Datsun of Pantazis. Behind them, the battle is heating up between Jannie van Rooyen and Dion van Vuuren as the pair go side by side through G&H Transport and onto the main straight. Pierre de Waal has managed to put a bit of space between himself and the battle. Coming into turn one, and van Rooyen gets the power down and moves ahead. Up the hill, it's neck and neck between Diedrichs and Pantazis. Diedrichs has the inside line, but Pantazis fights back and they race to Kenwood. Both of them on the power, and there's nothing between these two. Into the pits limps the red Volkswagen of Louis Klutter, obviously not able to continue after the incident. The pale green Sirocco of van Rooyen leads Dion van Vuuren's escort through Sasol. This battle is most definitely still alive, and van Vuuren is not sitting back and letting van Rooyen go. Pantazis weaving from side to side, looking for a way past the Camaro. He opts to take the long way round Renex Con and race mirror to mirror with Diedrichs. On the exit, the Camaro edges ahead. Sophos Pantazis, recovering from his earlier spin in avoidance, has Steve Tritter right behind him as the pair make their way onto the start-finish straight and complete another lap. Pantazis in the Datsun is looking comfortable ahead of Tritter in the escort. Camaro ahead of Datsun as they come into turn 5. Pantazis still pushing hard. It looks like Pantazis tried to go down the inside, but instead drove into the side of Diedrichs, and they're both off the track with damage, I'm sure. Pantazis lips into the pits. Diedrichs follows him in, and rear ends him in the pit entrance. That was a bit unsporting of him. Jannie van Rooyen has managed to keep the hard-charging Dion van Vuuren at bay. Into turn 5 they come, and van Vuuren is still trying to find a way past the Sirocco in what is looking like to be an almost impossible task. Jared Ray in the red Alpha is doing his best to keep the orange and black Datsun of Sophos Pantazis behind him as the pair round turn 2. Pantazis running a little wide there. Gert Boerters in his black escort leads Meredith Willis, who is driving his brother's car, which he has borrowed while his is being repaired after Kyalami. Boerters looks to have a comfortable margin over Willis, who is still getting used to an unfamiliar car. Steve Tritter leads a bonnetless Alan Poulter into the final corner as they battle for track position. Poulter and his Volvo 122S will be pushing hard to try and close up to and past Tritter. Coming over the line to take victory is Pierre de Waal. And behind him is Jannie van Rooyen, who seems to have lost Dion van Vuuren. Steve Tritter is still ahead of Alan Poulter, and he leads him over the line by a mere 0.2 of a second. Confirmation of the results then, and it was Pierre de Waal who took the victory with Jannie van Rooyen in second. Dion van Vuren held on to take third place and victory in Class E. Meredith Willis pipped Sophos Pantasis to the line by 0.5 of a second.
We had a lovely start. I thought I had Dion well taped behind me, but as I looked at my mirror, I saw no, here's this black motorcar right on my backside. And that was it. He just wouldn't let go of me. Well, I think it's a bit of respect that he gave the old man a bit of a chance.
No, quite the contrary. Jannie's all his life he's been a very good driver. I thought we were going to have a nice tussle right to the end. I picked up something wrong on the suspension the last 3 laps, that's why I backed off slightly. But I'm sure it'll be a nice ding-dong again in the second race.
It was quite heady. I started from the back of the grid and somebody somehow got stuck with the start and we overtook them and eventually got into turn 2 and there was chaos. The car spinning all over the place and I eventually got pushed out to the outside of the grid and ended up lost and tried to fight back, try to catch Steve again.
Yeah, I thought I timed the start pretty well and I was having a good run. Suddenly the front end of the grid sort of slowed down. I had a break to miss Meredith. I saw Louis in my mirror was ducking me to avoid me. I ended up stone last. So when I got to turn 2, there was a bit of action there and the cars, I don't know, someone spun on the inside. Gert was avoiding, Meredith was avoiding, Ellen ended up in the sand, Louis was avoiding. I managed to sneak a few spots while they were in the sand.
Race 2 gets underway and let's hope there's a little less drama. Jannie van Rooyen and Pierre de Waal fill up the front row with Dion van Vuren hot on their heels. Mirror to mirror, the lead pair go through turn 1. Sophos Pantasis and Ellen Poulter are side by side as well. Into Renix Khan and Pierre de Waal edges out a slight lead. Pantasis dropping back slightly as Poulter and Tritter go past. Louis Klutzer accelerates away from Dirk Venter and moves alongside Sophos Pantasis as they make their way through Speed and Sound Sweep. Klutzer pushing hard, passes Pantasis and it looks like Venter is going to follow him through. At the front, Pierre de Waal has managed to pull out a bit of a gap and Jannie van Rooyen has his hands full once again with Dion van Vuren. Dirk Venter on the main straight is looking for a way past the red beetle of Klutzer. He takes the inside line and makes the pass coming into turn 1. Great move from Venter, but Klutzer is going to fight back as they head to Renixcon. Klutzer pushing hard and you can see the beetle twitching a bit, but he's not able to retake his position and Venter stays ahead. Van Rooyen, Van Vuren, Boetes, they all pour into turn 1. Jannie van Rooyen looking in charge at the moment, but Van Vuren won't be letting go. There will be no respite from the pressure for the Sirocco. Dirk Venter leads Sophos Pantasis, and Steve Tritter has Louis Klutzer on his bumper as they come into BMW Performance Parts. Klutzer giving it everything he can to get past Tritter. Klutzer takes the outside line very wide. Side by side they go through the hairpin. Tritter comes out ahead, but it's so close between them. Through Speed and Sound Sweep and Ray behind the pair is also looking to get on the action. Into Castrol Corner, Tritter turns in and Klutzer catches the back of the Escort and it goes spinning. Jared Ray has to think quick and he heads into the kitty litter to avoid contact. In the replay you can see Tritter turn in. He thinks it's his corner and you can see the contact. Klutzer being forced into retirement again. Not the best of days for him. Back on the track and the action's hot. Alan Poulter leads Sophos Pantasis, who has the rapid Ford Capri of Dirk Venter right behind him. Poulter runs wide and Pantasis is ready to pounce as they climb up the hill to Sassel. Side by side the Volvo and the Datsun. Pantasis has the momentum and he takes the position away from Poulter. Into the hairpin and Venter is sideways. He manages though to get it going again and rejoins the race. Race leader Pierre de Waal makes his way through turn 8 and he will find the checkered flag waiting for him as he crosses the line and takes a second victory for the day. Behind him in second place is Jannie van Rooyen. After recovering from his spin at turn 2, Dirk Venter is now locked in battle with Steve Tritter as they race to the flag. Tritter pulls ahead into the final turn and looks to have the position. A real shame for Venter, but great racing by Tritter. In the end, Tritter was just 1/10 of a second ahead of Venter. Pierre de Waal took a double victory and Dion van Vuren in third took the honours in Class E. We caught up with Steve Tritter about his contact with the Beetle.
Louis came inside me at turn 4. I thought I had the corner, but halfway through the corner I started spinning. I saw Jared coming towards me. Which way? But yeah, it happens. I enjoyed it. It was fun. They tried catching up. I tried to catch Jared in the end, but just not enough. A couple more laps, maybe I would have got him.
It was fantastic racing. The car went well, it handled, and Jerk's car was just too strong. I normally take the cars on the uphill, but I couldn't take him on the uphill. So I had to wait until he made a mistake. I think you made a mistake.
Sophos is right, the first 3 laps were unbelievable. The car was handling great for the first time this weekend. And then something went wrong, we're not too sure what, but this car had total understeer for the rest of the race. So I actually just hung on. But it was a great race, great racing with the Volvo here and the Datsun. We had a wonderful race. I got a good start and I saw, of course, I jumped at these 2 guys here, but I saw them coming very slowly and fortunately the Jerk was holding Mr. Sophos up there. But eventually he got past me, but I kept the Jerk just behind me to the last lap. It was a fantastic race. I really worked hard.
Quick question. Where were the first traffic lights in the world launched? Find out after the break.
Join us after the break for more exciting action from Zwartkops.